Hey everyone, it's Olivia here for my cast up crew video. I have 4 hats to show you that I have finished, and I have a craft show to talk about. So I'll talk about the hats first, and then I'll talk about the craft show for anyone who cares. You don't have to save that if you don't want. But I knit this hat, which I've made this pattern several times before now. I'll try it on just so you can see. So something that's kind of interesting though, I make these with cozy wool, and I love the fit. It's really snug and just kind of comfortable, and it's a cute hat. It's definitely kind of a younger looking hat. A lot of people really like it, but then they try it on and say, "Oh, this is just a little too young for me." I guess I don't know. I don't think it really matters, but that's what I've heard a lot. But anyway, so this is a free pattern on Ravelry, so check it out. But anyway, so this one's knit with cozy wool. This one is the same exact pattern. I knit it with the same needles and everything, but I used Hometown USA, that other super bulky, sorry, my hair is crazy, the other super bulky yarn, and it turned out so different. It's crazy. So I don't, oh, it just does not. It feels so weird. It just doesn't. I don't know. There's something kind of don't really like it. Just kind of, I don't like the way that it looks. But my cousin tried them both on, and she said she liked the way that this one felt better because it was bigger, and she just kind of felt snuggly. I don't know. I had 3 of this pattern made for the farmer's market thing that I was doing, and many people asked, do you have anyone that doesn't have wool? Because these all have wool in it, and they didn't want it because they thought it was too itchy. Which I think this actually feels pretty good, but that's just my personal opinion. Sorry. I shouldn't care about my hair so much, it doesn't really matter, but I noticed it and I can't look at anything else. ADHD much. Anyway, so a lot of people had been asking for one that didn't have that, and I didn't have it available, so now I have one that isn't, but I don't know. I don't know if I would make it out of the yarn again, to tell you the truth, unless someone specifically ordered one and requested a non-wool yarn, but not my favorite. And at this hat, also, can you comment and tell me what you think the fair price is for that hat? Keep in mind that the yarn, it takes 1 skein and a half to make this. To make this one. This one took 3 skeins of something that I got for $2.97 a skein. This one is $7.99 originally. I got it on sale, so I got it cheaper than that, but the materials cost were probably about $12 for this hat. I have it listed as $40 because it takes so much time. It takes an hour to finish it. So I feel like that's a fair price, but I don't know. Do you think people will be willing to pay that realistically? I had a couple people buy them at $35, but I felt like at the craft shows, since it's more craft oriented than the farmer's market, that more people would be willing to pay a little more. But what are your thoughts and opinions? I would really value that. So comment below and tell me. This hat is just a really basic garter hat. It's supposed to be kind of slouchy, and I don't like slouchy hats, but people always come to my booth and say, do you have any slouchy hats? So I always have to have some available. But I need to soak this, honestly, maybe, so that it lays a little more, because the gauge feels really good. It's not too tight, but it just kind of stands up a little more than I'd want it to when it's sitting off the head. So I should soak that. And finally, number 4 is this guy. So I made another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle hat. It's a little tie in the back. I think they're pretty cute. I made this out of a yarn that I had never seen before, that I found at Joann's last time I was there. It's been a long time since I've been to Joann's, honestly, because I like the Michaels brand yarns better, so usually I go there instead of Joann's unless I'm looking for something specifically at Joann's that Michaels doesn't carry. But I saw this color and thought it would be a good color for making these turtles, so I'll probably make some more of these in bigger sizes for bigger kids. So I've noticed at craft shows, people tend to buy stuff more for their kids than they do for them. Also, if you notice I'm not wearing my wedding ring, it's not because something happened. I just was doing dishes, and I don't like to wear it when I do dishes, and I forgot to put it back on. So promise, no trouble in paradise. Also, I have one more question to poll people about. Okay, so I want this to be a hat stand for hats, and I tried to Mod Podge some thin paper on here like I did with my styrofoam heads, and it doesn't work. And this is a lot rougher and more porous. Do you know what I can do to get this to a point where I can Mod Podge it? Because I feel like paint isn't really going to fix the problem either. Don't know what to do about that. So if you guys have any ideas or have ever worked with styrofoam balls like this, I would really appreciate your input. Because it's kind of goofy. And I should saw off a little bit more around here because when the hat's sitting on it, it looks a little funky. So I'll keep looking into that. But, okay, so the craft show was in Brooklyn Park, which is kind of, it's not one of the richer suburbs around Minneapolis and St. Paul, but I don't know. It didn't go very well. So at the farmers markets, the last two that I did, it cost $25 to do it, and I made, at the last two in the fall, I made somewhere between like $200 and $240, and I was pretty happy with that. But then this one cost $79 to be in first, and it was, me and my friend Emily did it together, and she dyes yarn and fiber and stuff. But she has an Etsy shop that I will link below too, as well as with mine if you're interested in anything. But we both had a lot of stuff, a lot of really nice stuff. But I only made about $80 or $90, and she only made $60. And the only reason I even made $80 is because some of my family members came, and they felt, I feel like, kind of obligated to buy something. I don't know, but it just, what the heck? I don't know. The guy was weird, and I don't think it was very well advertised, which kind of frustrates me because if we're going to be paying that much money, you should probably be advertising for that. And on the website, it said something like, this event had 700 people come every year. There were not even 150, I guarantee it. Not to mention they didn't have many vendors, and so from a buying perspective, if you went there and there weren't that many vendors, are you really going to go again? No. So that was super disappointing. We have two more coming up. At least we both made our half of the money back, but it really, I guess if anything, it was just good practice for her because she hasn't sold anything like this before. She's super talented, just mainly keeps to her Etsy store. But my God, it was bad. I hope it goes, I don't know, it has to go better. It can't happen like that again. The next one is November 28th, which is right after Thanksgiving, so I feel like maybe more people will be in the present mindset. And Maple Grove is where we're going to be selling next, and that's kind of wealthier suburb, I guess. I don't know. You just don't know. Craft shows are kind of a, not to be crude, but kind of a crapshoot. You don't really know. You can't guarantee that people are going to buy your stuff, even if it's nice. And then you don't know how much to price stuff sometimes, because it's not necessarily about what it's worth. It's about how much are people going to be willing to pay. If anyone has any suggestions about pricing for me, that would be super helpful, because I have this at $15. I've had less intricate hats than this be bought at that price, so I feel like if it's the right person, they'll pay that much. This I have at $30, and I did sell a hat this weekend to a total stranger at that price, which she seemed really excited about it, but I don't know, do you think that's I feel like that's pretty reasonable. I see stuff like this on Etsy for $80 or $90 sometimes, which is ridiculous. I don't know. Well, I hope you guys have, I said that a lot, I'm sorry. I hope you guys have a really good week, and I will check in with you again at some point soon. Bye.